we live? Oh yeah, there's people here. Hey everyone. It is Tabitha Scott. Tabitha Scott Nails YouTube channel. I'm so excited to be here with you guys. It's been a full and fun day. I've loved watching everybody else's videos. Hi. Okay. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I achieve this. Hi in Mexico. Hi from Utah. This 3D, I'm going to be distracted by the comments. I don't need to be. This 3D weaved ombre effect. Hi guys. So it is a very simple thing to achieve, and it doesn't look like it. I have just a few examples here about it, and see, it looks like you can like insert something in there. Yeah, so this is nothing new. I know we've seen it before, but I'm going to show you guys how I achieve the 3D effect. So let's get into it. So I'm going to start off blank tip, and I would do this on a finished filed surface. You could encapsulate it. Hi Darcy. But I don't really see the need. We're going to be using buttercreams today, and of course you can put those on a finished filed nail. So that's what we're going to do. And I'll just set these up here for anybody new, curious what's going on. Okay, so when it comes to the colors, I do recommend, as far as like color theory and etc., I think, I mean, you could try any two colors you want, you know, art is art. But I think a darker color with a brighter, lighter color kind of helps accentuate the effects, because this one is not, you can't tell as much, it's more subtle because the colors are kind of the same hue, the same tone. So having to like a lighter color, darker color, yeah. So I'm using the buttercream today, and I just have a buff surface. Like I said, you can use it on a finished filed nail. I'd recommend. And I'm gonna use, Super Freak and Positively Charged. Two beautiful colors. Like I said, play around with this when you try this out. And I'm gonna be using the gel polish brush. I believe this is number 6? No, it's just the gel polish brush. And I'm also gonna be using the block brush. I'm just give you guys a rundown. I like this, the little spatula. I'm gonna be scooping out some buttercreams. I find it easier. I'm gonna be using a little bit of the LE gel paint, the primary black, a little bit of the clear Jimmy gel, and flat matte. You can make these shiny, but I don't know. I feel like the matte really accentuates the design. So I'm gonna start off by scooping the colors out. And I find this to be easier. And let me use a wipe to wipe this off. And I am using, of course, the LE Pro cleansing wipes, just because if you've been staying tuned all day, everybody raves about how they are truly, truly lint-free. So I'm gonna just clean this off in between scoops, and you can kind of stir this around. Make sure we get a nice little bit of color. And I'll just wipe this off, set that to the side. So what we're gonna start off doing, this is actually a new brush I just cracked open. And we are going to take, let me see, this is my first time on Facebook Live, so I don't know if you can zoom. Hopefully you guys, it's clear. So I'm gonna take color on one side of the brush and the other color on the other side of the brush. So you see like that. And I pick this up, and I do quite a good amount. And we're gonna put these down, and we're going to blend the colors. So we're kind of moving them back and forth just ever so slightly to mix some of that super freak into positively charged and vice versa and make a new color. And then what I also like to do, because of the way I do this, I flip this over for you asking it super freak and positively charged. So I like to take the colors. So we have the darker color positively charged on top, super freak on bottom. On the back of the brush, I'm going to coordinate the same. And you're gonna see why. So I'm loading colors on both sides of the brush, which is usually sometimes a no-no. And then I'm gonna do the same thing. And you're probably gonna repeat this a few times, like adding more color to this. So I have the ombre going both ways, and you'll see why. So I'm going to start off, I have this nail tip. I wanna tell you, full disclaimer, because of how these nail tips are, they have a high apex, which is absolutely fine, but they don't have a good base as far as tackiness to them. So the color may look a little weird, but it's not any of the product's fault. It's just because of the tip that we're using. So I'm gonna start off by just vertically pulling this down. And I like to start off sheer and light as first, just kind of get the groundwork going. And I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna flip it. So I did these two colors and then I flip it. Well, what other two colors are we gonna do? Because I don't really want too harsh of a line. And then I'm gonna flip the brush again. So we did this is how I'm doing it. Like I said, I'm starting off sheer before I commit to building up more color, just to make sure I like the proportion of what's going on. So you see what we started here. And then you can go in and start building the color up a little bit more. I generally do 2 coats. Buttercreams do have very, very good pigmentation, so you can usually get away with 1 coat. And see, I'm gonna load some more color. My little right mixture was a little light. I'm just gonna mix that a little back and forth. And we're just gonna go in and deepen these up. Make them a little more opaque. And so the only thing I'm gonna tell you guys, don't forget which colors are on which side. I've done that. I've made that mistake. And I'm just repeating this just to get the pigmentation I want. Like I said, that's why I like to start with that rough draft. I'm bound to mix my colors up during this live. Yeah, just keep track of your little color pattern, but it makes it easier. The reason I do this as opposed to just repeating this ombre like this and then this is because I don't like this harsh line that it produces right here. Personally, that's just me. So I like to have a nice little fade going both ways. So, but if you like it, you find it, I mean, it's easier. It's a little less tedious to do it the other way. But yeah, I like this to look like a ombre as best as possible. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the light. I'm using my LE light. Need to turn that away. So let's see while we wait. Anybody have any questions? I appreciate all you guys for watching. From Germany. What colors are used on this one? The same colors. Yeah. This is positively charged and super free. I know that's an old question, but wallet gears. Would I do a few nails or all of them? It depends. I think it would look really cool and trippy to do all 10 nails, especially if they were all the same. I'm a person who appreciates all like 10 nails being the same. I do a lot of work where I do two hands differently, but I appreciate that. There's something to be said about just having this same unique design on all 10 nails. But I think it'd be super cool. Or, I mean, of course, as an accent, it's, you know, it's art. However you feel. There's no wrong way. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do a second coat of exactly what we did, just to get the pigmentation where I want it. Like I said, I prefer to work with gel products in general, kind of modestly. That's just my style. Even if it says one coat, unless it's bad to do two, I'm probably going to do two coats. So we're just going to flip. I want to make sure. Are you guys able to see? I want to make sure my hand's not blocking it in any way. Get a little more. My little mix right here is running a little dry. Again, all the time removing that left to right, just ever so slightly, just to blend the color. And what you're looking for, if this was straight up, if you're doing red and blue, you want to kind of blend it till you get a little purple shade in the middle. So that's what we're trying to do, just to kind of give that nice ombre effect. And this is great. Like I said, buttercreams give great, you can get great one coat coverage with them. But like I said, I prefer, I prefer to work more modestly with the colors. I feel like I have a little more control, especially with something like this. If this was just a solid nail, I mean, of course, we could do it in one coat. But the benefit to using the buttercreams is that they are such highly pigmented and they don't move. They don't, a lot of times with gel polish, it can be too viscous. For something like this, it's a more, you want a more solid, not solid, that's not the right word. Like something thicker that's gonna stay put. You don't want it to move. So wherever we put this blend, we want it to stay, and that's exactly what is happening here. So I wouldn't really, this is the ideal product. I'd have to say I've never been able to execute this technique because I hadn't had a product that worked well with it. So I just put that in the light to cure. So we have 2 coats of this base color. Again, you can load up more on your brush if you feel comfortable with that. Absolutely do it. The buttercreams can definitely cure efficiently that way. But again, it's personal preference. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna load back up. Oh, I forgot I dished it out right here on this mix. Dish a little more right here. Again, get a cute little blend going. And then I'm gonna do it the other way. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is layer over this. This is completely cured with the opposite colors. So over positively charged, this darker color, we're gonna put Super Freak, the brighter color, but we're gonna use the same exact technique. That's it. So I like to start usually in the middle for whatever reason. And again, I started off with it more sheer so I can kind of set my rough draft so I can get it together, see what's happening, see what's going on. And sometimes I have to look. I'll forget what goes where. And we're just gonna build up the coverage. And again, this is why this is a great product, because it does have wonderful coverage. So again, I started off light, a little more sheer, just to make sure I have my design going in the direction that I want it to go in. I'm just dishing out a little more buttercream. I didn't pull enough out. I probably had enough Super Freak out. Just give me a little blend going. Okay. And we're going to up the opacity on this. Again, I'll start off with what I call a little rough draft. And whatever you do not cure this layer. This is where the magic's gonna happen. I'm gonna leave this layer wet for now. So I'm just brushing it on here. I mean, obviously. And just building up the color, getting it smooth is really what I'm working on. So you see me kind of going in, blending the colors even more. We haven't blended down here, but just to make sure we have a nice, beautiful blend. Keep these lines as vertical, straight as possible. So this is what we have. I think it looks okay. You want it to look basically like you don't have the opposite situation going on underneath. And another reason the buttercreams are great for this is because the fact that you can put a thin coat and get good coverage, get good opacity, it works for the next step that we are going to be doing. just perfecting this. Okay, so we're gonna set that to the side, and we don't care, and I'm gonna use the block brush. Now, you can do, this is where you can play around and achieve different effects. Like I did a little U-type shape, diagonal, horizontal, little swerve things. You can do circles, just experiment, just ensure that you remove product across to some degree horizontally, because if you move it vertically, it's not going to give you, you're going to defeat the whole purpose. So make sure it at least crosses at some angle horizontally to some degree. It could be diagonal, but going up and down, like I said, it's not going to achieve that effect. So I'm going to take the block brush, and that's what I was saying. You can use different brushes, like an angled brush. You can use the gel polish brush if you want to. This is going to be a little bit wider, give you a different effect. So what we're going to do, and I'm going to take a wipe, the LE Pro cleansing wipes, and I'm going to put a little bit of the cleanser on here so it's moist, the LE cleanser. And I'm just going to set that off to the side. Make sure my brush is clean. It is not. I was practicing earlier. So I'm just gonna do this horizontally. Make sure you guys can see. And we're going to remove this color. And we start revealing this effect. So you can do this again. You can do whatever you would like here. You can leave your spacing about the same. I did on here, I left it about the same as what I wiped off. Like I said, you can use a bigger brush. You could do a small removal, a larger one. Like do the block on one, the gel polish on another, and kind of do that. Whatever, it's your world. And you can come in and perfect this. I lifted my brush up, and what I'm gonna do is go back in and smooth that out. And it's so amazing to watch it. And so I'm just wiping that brush, going back in and removing that color. And you see why it's important that we use the buttercreams for this, because it doesn't move. If you were using most traditional gel polishes, by now it would have just seeped and moved around, and these are just staying put exactly where they are. So I'm just continue on, and I'm just wiping it over here on my moistened wipe. And you can go in and perfect your lines. And I would say when you're doing this top layer, try to achieve this look with the thinnest amount of product that you can. So if you get it too thick, you can kind of see where it starts. You kind of get a little bit of a texture because of, oh, look, I done messed that up, y'all. Looking in the camera. Look, we fixed it, not so bad. You get a little bit of a texture because of what you're wiping away is giving you like a little valley of product removed. So kind of keep it, you know, light, however, the least amount of product you can use to achieve the effect. I'm gonna have to go up here. This is driving me crazy. Of course, that's not perfected because we're using it on a tip. And like I said, this looks like a very difficult thing to do. But as you can see, it really is not. So once we get it how we like it, we'll go ahead and cure. And I'm just going in, making sure I like where the lines are. And what I'm doing right now is because some of the product, I pulled the brush this way, and some of that product dragged, is that even a word? This way, so I'm kind of going the inverse and moving it back, and it just kind of cleans it up and enhances the effect. I'm gonna turn it this way just so I can work on it like that. And I do, when I'm working on a client, I like to turn my client's hand towards me often, just so I can get these difficult angles and to make sure that the lines are as straight as possible, depending on what I'm doing. I do a lot from that angle. I shape my nails from that angle. I do smile lines from that angle. A lot. So we're just cleaning that up. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in the light to cure. And so we are done with this brush. And I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up and out the way. I appreciate everybody for being here. Do y'all see if there's any questions I can answer? Jessica, I don't think gels would be ideal for this because they don't really stay put. You usually can't put a drop of gel and not expect it to disperse to some degree. The buttercreams don't do that. They're stiffer, they stay still, which is absolutely ideal for this design. So this is cured, and right now you can go ahead and top coat it. I really think this design is accentuated by it being matte, but you can definitely do it shiny, whatever is to your liking. But now we're going to do the actual 3D effect. So with that, let me go ahead and put a lid on these. And now I'm going to use the primary black gel paint and the Jimmy gel in just the clear one. And I am going to go ahead and dish these out on my little work mat. Just a little bit on here. We don't need much of either. Where's my little spatula? You want to make sure that your spatula is clean. You see it'll get some product at that edge right there. You want to make sure it's clean before you dig back in. So we really don't need much for this. Okay, so I'm taking a new brush. You don't have to. You can clean your other brush but this is going to kind of streamline the process, save some time. So I definitely recommend having multiple. These gel polish brushes are absolutely great. So I definitely recommend getting multiple. And we're going to do the same thing that we did earlier. We're going to take half the brush and put it and load up on the black, and the other half and load up on the clear. So I'm just going to dip that in there. And you really don't need much. And this is really simple, and it adds a lot of impact. So I'm taking some of that Jimmy gel. So we have black on one side, the clear Jimmy gel on the other. I know it's hard to tell on this brush. And we're going to do the same thing that we did earlier and get a blend. And what we're blending is opaque black to a more sheer black into clear. And that's what we're looking to do. I'll pick up a little more Jimmy gel. And you see that it gives this gradient effect, which is great for a shadow. I want to tell you guys that you could use the concept of this to do a lot of cool and other artwork, not just exclusively with this weave design. So just keep that in the back of your head as a technique you can use with other things. You may want to like draw a heart and make it 3D, and you could just come around the edge with it with using this process and have a 3D heart. So, you know, it's a good thing to learn. So I'm gonna load this up, and I'm not looking for it to be really intense black, so I moved it to the right, so I'm getting more of the sheer black. So you see it's not super opaque, it's a little bit more sheer right here. And so when we load up on that, we're gonna go in and we're gonna line where we just removed product. So I know it's kind of hard to determine, but we're gonna go in. Hopefully you guys can see, I'm in focus. And we're gonna start adding that shadow. And I have a little fuzzy in here. But we're just gonna work with it today. So I'm gonna load this up. Again, I don't want that black too opaque, so come over here and test it out. And again, we're gonna go in that same area that we removed the color and line it. And I found that visually, for the illusion and what the brain does, it kind of looks better coming from under to do the shadow. So it looks like the light is coming from up top and you're getting a shadow below each piece. And hopefully that's kind of coming together, you can see. And I'll start off the same way. I like to start off a little bit lighter. A little light-handed with it. And you see we're starting to create that effect. So this part looks recessed, and it kind of brings up, you know, the top part. So I'm just continuing this process. Loading more black on here. Make sure you have follow through. Even the little pieces, you want to make sure they're all treated the same. This little swatch, she doesn't have the best cuticle area. just loading up on this little black and clear ombre situation. I'm gonna clean that up. And hopefully you guys are able to see. So now, again, it's starting to get that 3D look. Now, of course, like I said earlier, you could have stopped before this. It's a very cool, unique design before this. This is just an added effect. And it'd be great for like some optical illusion nails. Again, my friend here, she doesn't have the best cuticle area, but we're following through. Committed. So at this point, I'm just going to perfect any inconsistencies. We can darken it up some. Load a little more black on there. And pull it through. I'll go ahead and deepen the shadow on some of these. And I'll load this up a little more black, a little more Jimmy Gel. And so, if you're curious, the reason I use Jimmy Gel for this is because the viscosity is real similar to the paint gel. And so it kind of, they both stay where they're at. And that's really what we need for this artifact. It sounds like I said artifact. Art effect. So I'm just adding a little more black. This is very detailed work. And it just makes that effect a little more powerful. And overall, this is a very easy design. Lastly, what I want to go ahead and do is clean up the shadow. And I want to let you guys know, I haven't even said it, I have a discount code for you guys, and it's Tabitha with the number 20, and it's TABYTHA 20 at the end, and you get 20% off the LA website. So definitely use that, check that out. You get all these great things, 20% off, and you can see the cool, I mean, this, I said it earlier in the video, but I hadn't been able to successfully do this effect because I didn't have any buttercreams. I was educated on them, and they are amazing. They are absolutely amazing. So I'm taking some more of the LE cleanser on a lint-free white, and I'm going to use this block brush again, and I'm just going to, if you could see here, this black kind of went above and beyond its duties. And so I'm just cleaning it up. Y'all excuse my little lint in here. We're working with it. And it's not from our wipes, I promise you. So I'm just cleaning up that black line. And we have this cool 3D effect. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the lamp. Do you guys have any questions for me while that cures? And this is really a deceivingly simple design. It doesn't look like it. It really doesn't take much time in actual practice, like sitting down with a client. Yeah, you'll be able to rewatch these. They will be saved. We'll save this video so you can start it from the beginning and watch it. You get all the good information. It's been a really cool day for me. I've loved watching everybody. I'll show you guys these. And like I said, you can play with the direction of how you move it, the width of what you remove. You can play with different brushes. This is, I actually did this using the primary black LE paint, the gel paint, and the white, the primary white. So it's just the black and white right here, which absolutely worked amazing for this. Also, it has a thicker viscosity. It is a little more difficult to work with, but I don't have the black and white colored buttercreams on hand. I just wanted to see how it looked. And also, you can make this 3D. I was kind of playing around. You can build up a little bit of, use the Jimmy Gel to kind of build it up and make it 3D. I just did this one right here just to give it even more of an effect. The colors for this are surprisingly leotards and leg warmers. I know it looks white, but it isn't. It's just the contrast. This is a very beautiful pale kind of pastel. It looks like you mix like a neon yellow, like a drop of neon yellow in white. And the other color is Polymer Pal. So that's what I used for this one. And see this one is what I was speaking to. I mean, it looks cool. It looks better in real life than it does on camera. But I would tell you, like I was recommending earlier, to have a little more contrast in the actual, having a brighter color, darker color with the tones. So I really was, I needed a brighter, lighter blue. And on this one, I did the same effect that I did with the black and clear. I did it with white and clear to kind of highlight the layer that's supposed to be in front. Just playing around. You know, do I like it? I don't know. But it's a super cool effect. But I think the colors need to have that contrast. They don't need to be contrasting colors, but the depth of the colors need to be contrast. So this is what we have. And like I said, you can go many places with here. You can add additional line work. You can go in and kind of look like you're weaving a line in and out here. That would probably be cool. Do this as an accent nail, as a French. This would be cool with those designs where they do half the nail, one design, the other half with like a French. Just to give you guys some ideas on how to use this. It's really cool for Halloween time. It's really cool just because it looks like an optical illusion. It looks kind of trippy, kind of, what's those houses? Are they like fun houses? Is that what they are called? So now I'm going to use flat matte. And no problem, guys. This is really, really fun. I'm glad to share this with you guys, of course. And I'm also excited if you guys, again, I'll repeat it. I have a discount code and it is Tabitha with the number 20 at the end, and my name is spelled with a Y. It's Tabytha. I thank my mama for that. I can never find one of those name tags at the gas station. So I went ahead and put that in the light, and like I was saying earlier, I really think this design really plays well with being matte. It really accentuates the way it looks, because sometimes shiny can take away from the design because the light reflects off that shiny surface, so it can kind of disturb the details in a design. The matte really allows you to just take in what the design is without having to worry about light impeding on that. So I think this design kind of really calls for being matte. What you can do, just while we're here, you can use, like I said, play around with this, guys. You could go in and see, which one do I want to do it with? Maybe this one. You can go in and make some of the lines shiny, see if you like how that looks with that contrast. Again, I would do anything if you're going to add on to this technique. I would do anything that brings attention, that's brighter to the front, to our top layer of stripes, and anything that's darker, adds depth to it, I would put it in the background. So because the light, the shiny brings light, which is light, it's brightness, I would put it on the top layer. And we can see how this looks. I hadn't actually done this, but I had a thought that it might be cute, so. Of course, this is a little rough. But I think that, how do you think that looks, guys? Oh, I think that accentuates it even more. I'll go ahead and cure that in the light. And I'm using the Pro Wipes and the cleanser, and I'm just going to cleanse the inhibition layer from that. Let that dry. And so this is our effect. And it just looks like you could set something in there, right? Like you could, like, I don't know. It can kind of hurt the eyes a little bit. Just because your mind is trying to figure out what's going on. And again, I have some lint in here, so we'll look past that. And so this is the one I did. Shiny. I need to wipe the tacky layer off, but we want to let it set for 30 seconds to a minute to let it finish curing. It's still curing outside of the light. If you remove the tacky layer too soon, you might find it to be dull a little bit. So, yeah. I like it with the shiny and the matte too. You guys are welcome. I really enjoy doing this for you guys. Yes, this live will be saved. You can watch it from the beginning. Y'all excuse my speak. This is, of all days, this is my first day of my allergies trying to act bad. So you guys can see, again, tap the number 20 at the end. You can get 20% off the Ellie website. Which do you guys prefer with the shine? I kind of prefer it with the shiny and the matte. Look at that, I just went above and beyond here, figured something else out. So if you guys don't have any questions, I'll give a little more time for you to type off any questions. Type up any questions. Nicole, you are this good. Just sit. This was simple. I was good. It wasn't hard. We just swiped the lines. That's all we did. We wiped the brush vertically, cured it, and wiped it horizontally and cured it. That's all we really did today. Tamara, we will save the video so you're able to watch the whole thing and not just the last third. Yes, of course, guys. My little Ellie fam over there. Thank you, guys. It's been really, really fun. I enjoyed doing this fun design. And you guys, if you have no other questions for me today, don't forget to check out the sale on the Light Elegance website. And then also, like I just said, you can watch this video from the beginning. If there's any people who are just now tuning in, watch this video. You're going to learn how to do this, and it's going to be surprisingly simple. So I really want to I really want to thank you guys. I really appreciate you all. And I just love doing this. And it's been a fun day. So stay tuned. There's some more coming up after me. The schedule will be on the Facebook page. And make sure you like Ellie's Facebook page. You follow them on Instagram, and all the lovely ladies and Jim who have presented today or will present. You can purchase these items on lightelegance.com. All these items are from Light Elegance. Buttercreams are amazing. Definitely check them out. Yeah. So thank you guys. Bye.